All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. And today we also have Jason on the show as we are wrapping up season 2 today. We are going to do a season 2 recap, highlight some of the best and worst takes of season 2. And Jason is going to walk us through these. Very similar to Play of the Week. Tyler and Lou and I have not seen these, so this will be fun to live react to some of our best and worst takes this season. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, Ryan?
It's been a while, boys. It's
It
been
has.
like 3 weeks. It's been a very long time.
I think 2 weeks. No,
2 weeks.
2 weeks from today.
Whatever.
A lot's
Feels like
happened.
2 years, guys. I missed you so much.
The COVID ran through the locker room.
It
Took
did.
out a couple of the boys.
It did.
Coming off some big news last night. Fanatics acquiring Tops. There's been some crazy sales. Spider-Man PMG. I'm excited to get into this thing. I have no idea. Tannehill's got to be in there somewhere. It's not like he
Baker
has the number
Mayfield's
one.
gotta be in
Yeah.
Listen, I'll say this. Jason texted me over break and was like, if there's any person who should feel good going into this recap show, it's me. So I'm ready to roll.
Oh, got it.
So I'm ready to roll.
I wouldn't
Like
expect
Georgia-
anything less.
Yeah.
Lou,
Right.
Lou had a sneaky good season with his takes. Like you guys will see in a second. It's impressive. It's impressive.
It is funny how his former college football team got smoked by his current college football team in the college football
I
playoff.
don't know what you're talking about.
I
I
just-
saw a great football game that was dominated by the Georgia Bulldogs.
Got it. I think I put Penn State in the playoff, and
Yeah, you did.
You definitely did.
they were bad.
And I also talked about the Browns being in the Super Bowl.
Yep, you did.
So,
All right, let's get it. Let's go.
let's
All
not
right.
ruin it. Let's get into it. So, Jay, what do we got?
All right, so I'm going to start it off by it's basically done in chronological, and these are some of the bigger topics before we get into good and bad takes, just to talk about kind of reflect on where we were at. So back in January, this is the first Dallas show that we went to, and you guys started to notice, especially you, Ryan, that the market was changing. So I'm going to play this clip and see what you guys think.
This isn't just football, basketball, and baseball cards anymore.
Not at all.
This is everything else. There's always been it, right? I don't pay a ton of attention to that because that's not really my market. Just something I don't know as much about. But there's a lot of soccer. There's a lot of Pokemon. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of other sports outside of basketball, football, and baseball at this show.
Sports and entertainment.
Sure.
The entertainment aspect, I think, we talk about it a lot. Like we were talking about Pokemon a lot. We were talking about soccer a lot. We talked about Pokemon a lot. Entertainment, I think we haven't gotten to as much. So we talked about Marvel a little bit a couple weeks back.
Sure.
But like Marvel, Star Wars, Garbage Pail Kids,
Yeah.
like all that stuff, I think is so underrated in a world where this type of collectible continues to expand.
Yeah, I picked up this 77 Star Wars Luke Skywalker PSA 8 that I'm super pumped about.
Spot
that
on.
That was a year ago, and you guys basically predicted the what was coming with the entertainment market. And it looks like that played out pretty well.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, we've that didn't really even touch on what happened with WADA. There's so much that happened in the last year. Obviously, not only I think what started as sports cards, basketball, football, baseball, then bled into what we saw a lot of Marvel, Star Wars, different movie things, hockey had a moment, but also then if you start thinking about the fractional platforms like Rally and just what people are investing in, video games, comics, are all a little bit blending into one. And my main takeaway is I really miss the Dallas show when I see this clip. Like
Next
really
weekend.
It's next weekend, the
Yeah.
13th, 14th, 15th. I may no longer be going to Atlanta. Are you going, Rye?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be going. Yeah.
Sneaky. I gotta say, Lou was kind of early Marvel. Lou, and really that's where James came into play. You're on mute.
Lou, you're muted.
You killed your
I was
mic.
too early.
You were too early.
We're
Yeah,
going to
'cause
get
this is
into
a
that.
year ago, and it took basically a full year. But Marvel is definitely hot now.
We're going to get into that later. I promise you.
All right, Jay. What,
Spider-Man, PMG.
Anyway, so This clip is from the exact same show in January, and what I found interesting is you guys were starting to realize at this show that the base card market was starting to drop a little bit. And let's play this clip.
Yeah, I mean, like, let's call it what it is for the people who aren't here. Luka base 10s are doing $1,100 cash here. Like, that's,
Oh my
people are going to hear that
gosh.
and be very confused by that information, but that's the way it is. Is that a function of there being a lot of it here, and the people who are at this show are people who know what they're doing? Potentially, and not know what they're doing, but they're more of the dealer, buyers and sellers, people you talk to on Instagram, as opposed to a national where you get more of the normal day-to-day collector there, and the prices are different, and it's lower than eBay. Yeah, but I think $1,100 cash for a Luka base PSA 10 that was doing 2K 2 months ago would be very surprising to a lot of people.
That is insane. Those are down under $500, I think.
Yeah, just so we're clear, I just searched Luka PSA 10, Luka Prism PSA 10, and there's one PSA 10 sitting for $485.89. $485.99.
Yeah, I mean, like, let's call it what it is for the
Sorry,
people who
guys.
aren't.
My bad.
Yeah, I think at that point it even sounded crazy at 1,100 because they were doing like 14, 15 or something like that. And to think about where it is now is pretty crazy. But it was an inevitable situation, I feel like.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what those look like even more, another year from now. Are those cards ever going to get back up above 600-700, or are those cards going to just continue to, free fall? I mean, there's a lot of them. It's going to be
Doesn't help
interesting
that
to
they're
see.
not great either.
What?
Doesn't help that they're not awesome. The Mavs.
Who's the
You
Mavs?
mean the Mavs? Also,
him.
Luka has.
Yeah.
Here we are on Jan 3rd, 2022. Zion pretty much doesn't play. Literally, is as close to being Greg Oden as he is Luka, which is crazy. When he's on the court, he's been a monster. But I mean, there's a real world where he ends up having less of a career than Kristaps Porzingis. And Luka,
Ty, real quick.
yeah,
2
go.
seconds. Which would you rather have a case of? 2019-2020 Prism basketball or 2020-2021 Prism basketball?
You said 18-19 or 20-21?
No, 1920 with Zion and Ja, or 2020-2021 with LaMelo and Anthony Edwards.
I think LaMelo is the biggest of them all, I think.
What a year it has been if that is the case. And I believe a lot of people would agree with that statement.
Yeah. The NBA's in the NBA to me is in a tough spot. If you look around Twitter, people talking about the NBA, like more players now COVID obviously, but I mean Udonis Haslem was dropping buckets. Like the NBA is in a weird place.
Joe Johnson.
Joey
Trae Young's
Jay
at
was signed
56.
in 10
ISO Joe.
days. ISO Joe was signed in 10 days. So look, a million people tuned into you were saying the darts championship live stream. Our attention is being splintered in a million different ways, and Zion's not even playing basketball. Luka seems like he put on a good amount of weight and hasn't been performing. And I don't want to go into the stats, so it might bury me, but they're not commanding much attention. My man Josh Giddey though, so that's what I would say. NBA generally base cards. I don't think we'll see the strongest recovery, but I think there's still stars and opportunities in place to be made in basketball, no doubt about it.
Jay, what else we got?
Cool. All right.
Real quick. Is there like some kind of background noise happening right now?
Yeah, it's Jay.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
Jay,
So,
can you go on mute when you're not talking?
Yeah, my bad. All right. So on the next slide, well, I could play like a million different clips from this, but I'm just going to run this and then let you guys talk about some memories.
We are officially in the mix. We have a show that we've been working on in partnership with eBay that we are excited to bring to everyone, and we are calling it Card Talk Live.
Card
That
Talk
was
Live.
fun. Card Talk Live was fun.
Yeah, Card Talk Live was fun. It was very well put together for someone that was not involved in the production of that. It was very, very well done.
We are officially.
I cannot wait to I'm excited to run the next one, whether it's live virtual or live in person, whenever that looks, whenever that happens. But yeah, that was fun. That was very well put together.
I think Lou and Rye like more or less pulled up to Car Talk Live knowing like 5% of what was going on.
At best.
That would be a high percentage for me.
Yeah,
just so we're
yeah.
clear. I
At
had
best.
no idea what was happening. I had no idea who was on it. I had no idea what was happening. We figured it out.
Yeah,
so it was
agreed.
great.
I
But that
mean,
sounds about right.
When Pat,
I
when
was so
Pat, when Pat was the first person to come on and pretty much was naked in his studio,
Yeah, all time.
it was like all bets are off. Here we go.
Yeah,
That
he
was
was just
good.
like,
Is this?
That
Are we
was
going to talk about
wild.
Tyler's brown wall?
No, not yet. Not yet. We will later, but this is not that. This is from that same episode, though. Okay, so big news broke. Obviously, this is from that episode when it was announced that Panini had taken over the license. And I think Tyler's take was interesting here, so let's run that.
And Topps and Panini are still businesses. And everyone's like, this change, freaking out about this change. Well, if this change didn't happen, guess what? Panini was going public via SPAC with A-Rod, and Topps was going public via SPAC with the former head of Disney. So, like, it was happening anyway. This crew just pulled it off. So what I'm trying to say is, like, yes, it's a lot of change, but at the same time, this change has been happening. These moments, the shoe drops and everyone freaks out.
So Jay, just for the listeners, Jay said Panini. He meant Fanatics.
That's all right.
But yeah, obviously some big news dropping yesterday that Fanatics has acquired Topps. I think the thing I take away from this is you talk about like the shoe dropping, like it happened then, it happened yesterday. It's going to continue to happen. There's going to be plenty more opportunities in 2022 where more news, more deals. This is going to continue to evolve in the next, 3 to 4 years. This, what happened on whenever that episode was, that the landscape of what the market was going to look like is going to change 50 times by the time that Fanatics takes over and everything, unravels.
Yeah, we talked about it, I think, a little bit in the last episode. But going into this year, maybe it's been longer than COVID, but we're 2 months out from being 24 months into this pandemic. I remember one of the early kind of days and combos, Rye, of like, is this all based on the pandemic, the demand? So much has changed. I think going into this year, the hobby, if you take the hobby, is positioned with more opportunity than ever for collectors, for investors, for flippers. I also think in general, what we're seeing is a younger generation that is realizing that they can invest in things. I'm 30. When I was 18, there wasn't we didn't have iPhones. So the only way to go on eBay and look up something was your desktop at home, which probably had like some dial up. What I'm trying to go is the overall fractional alternative investment market is just getting going. And if you think about Fanatics and you think about Michael Rubin going on CNBC or whatever he went on this morning and announcing a deal to acquire Topps, I mean, they have goals to grow the size of the trading card market significantly. And that's in a world where NFTs and digital collectibles are also exploding. And so what I would say is there's still a lot that's going to shake out. We were primed for a big event, the Mint Collective, which was like a new take on almost maybe the National in Vegas that just got postponed for some COVID reasons. But I think it's clear to me now that if there ever is a day where we say the pandemic is officially over, I don't think we're just going to see all of a sudden a change in the demand. I think supply and demand is playing out, cost of Luka versus volume of Luka. But boy, do I think there's more opportunity than ever in the hobby and in the alternative asset market in general going into this year. I do believe that.
Yeah, I think we talked about it in different ways. The whole industry was just primed for like major changes and major growth and acquisitions, and I think this year it'll be like mergers where it's like Fanatics playing Tops and Card Ladder and PSA and da 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 da. So, I think that this clip is indicative of a larger thing about cards that we kind of felt the whole time.
All right. So as we got closer to Ryan's favorite event of the year, Lou asked a question that sparked a phenomenon.
And Topps and Panini.
Until the national is over and we're past that, that is going to be what is on my mind.
Can I get a countdown?
Yeah. Right. Where are we at?
Today would be until the show officially starts because we record on Tuesday. Today is Tuesday since we're recording. So tomorrow would be 3 weeks until it starts. So we're at 22 days officially.
But we get in on Tuesday, so it's kind of 3 weeks.
I get on
Yeah.
Monday.
Oh, sorry.
Weird flex.
I mean, so you're under 3 weeks.
Weird flex. Okay. That's fucking awesome.
The countdown. What's the countdown right now?
Hold on.
We're going to Atlantic
Hold
City.
on, he has it on his phone. That's the funniest part.
No, I don't have it on my phone. I gotta Google it.
Did you guys see like have you guys seen Don't Look Up on Netflix?
Yeah.
I got an hour in and couldn't watch
Alert,
it.
Ryan's got like a
That's
diet
fair.
for the national.
Yeah, I got an hour in and it was like I gotta stop.
I just went to sleep about an hour in. It was funny. I was laughing, but I kept feeling I was laughing at myself.
204
Yeah.
days.
204 days.
The countdown's back.
AC 's
I
gonna
like
be
the idea of
lit.
like a year-long countdown clock.
AC is gonna be lit. We're gonna have the dinner for the play of the week winners. I want to play a little golf over there too. And
Oh, I
sell
can't
some
wait to be in
cards.
AC.
Yeah, AC's gonna be great.
Then
You
the
got it.
national
Figure it
arrived.
out.
Yeah, I will. The national arrived, and Lou made a friend. And let's break it down in 2 clips.
My answer:
Okay, bring it.
Oh,
You're going back to
bro.
IG to see who hit you.
Cruises underscore
Oh,
Oh my goodness, he's the
underscore
Otani
card.
guy.
No,
No,
underscore stop. He's 12. He has a better collection than me.
the future of card
He has a better
collectors.
collection than I'll ever have, and I'm in the process of trying to peel away a cosmic Joe Burrow from him. And if I don't get it,
Wish I
I'm
had
gonna
that.
cry.
Is he
I
still
know he did.
trapping you?
This
Yeah, he's
kid,
crushing me.
Hey.
He pulled it out of a cosmic pack. He graded it to 10. He's 12 years
He
old.
got a 10?
Yes, he did.
My man
He's the coolest kid in the world.
DM me and asked me about it. Hey, check this out.
Yeah, it's really
Can you
annoying.
send it?
Hey,
Oh, he DM'd me.
Hey.
What number is the booth? 405.
this kid.
Is
Yes,
he coming back?
This
he's
kid.
a legend.
Cruz,
Wow.
legend. Love that kid to death. Next, like the future leader of
Yeah,
sports
20,
cards.
2035 national.
And
He runs the show.
Okay, and then the next day we were live on the main stage, and Lou tried to steal on stage.
This is the best thing we ever did, by the way.
I'm gonna make a request to Ryan that we switch because
You want to
bring
get
it
in
up.
tight?
yeah, we're bringing up Cruz's card stop, and I'm in the midst of the battle of my life to get this card. We need to switch seats.
Are you guys gonna do the
Has to
deal on stage?
So we haven't talked about that.
Is that what you're trying to sabotage?
I'm not trying to sabotage. Like I'm just trying to make it clear that I need to have this card, Cruz.
So, Cruz, to my understanding, you came by the booth yesterday.
Yeah.
You came across Lou, and
Yeah.
you guys spent 30, 45 minutes just
Yeah.
diving deep into all things. For the next 6 hours, Lou couldn't stop singing your praises while at the same time he's trying to negotiate a deal with you. And it feels like you have him in a steel trap
Yeah.
and in a blender.
Not only did he have me in a steel trap, he had me in like just a torture chamber. I think about that card all the time.
did you end up getting it?
No,
Dang.
no, I did not. But I will say this: he would have had the upper hand because what we were going to do was a 2013, the Curry Kaboom was what we were going to trade for it, and it turns out that the Curry Kaboom has gotten a little hot, so it's currently higher. But I did want that card really bad.
I mean,
Bro
Curry
looks
is.
good. Rocking his
Yeah.
jersey today.
I know. That's a
Yeah,
good
no
job by
Since
you.
You're
Lou
right.
brought it up
Johnson.
earlier this year and said something about I wore a Burrow jersey, figured we'd wear it for the season 2 recap.
Who are you rooting for in the wild card round when the Patriots play the Bengals?
That's a good question, man.
Oh, I love it.
Lou, you were a Michigan fan your entire life,
Fan since day one. Yep.
and all of a sudden, so who'd you root for in Michigan, Georgia?
Georgia, it was pretty easy. No,
rest
right.
my
Listen,
case.
I have
rest my case.
principles and you do not.
I rest my case.
All right. So anyway, we got to the point of the show now where we're going to break down the good takes. I'm going to give you guys the good stuff first, and then we're going to do the bad takes. And I'm not going to talk much. I'm just going to run these clips and let you guys have some fun with them.
Cool.
So the first good take.
Feel like the people that we like joke about, and I feel like the people who are like, I don't get this. This is stupid. I don't like it. So it's not real, right? So I'm having an inner conversation with myself. I'm like, let's use Top Shot as the example. There's nothing hotter on planet Earth right now, it feels like, than Top Shot. And I just can't figure it out, right? Like I just can't I can't understand for the life of me what everyone's doing. Yeah, we're just buying them for 400 and then you sell them for 700. I'm like, why?
That is the truest thing I've ever seen. That thing tanked.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out there.
That is the biggest scam I've ever seen.
It's rough out there for
That's
sure.
Ryan Johnson. That's Ryan Johnson using the word scam. Not Lou, not Tyler. That is Ryan Johnson.
He's like, they're selling for 400. We're buying them for 400, selling for 700. But why? You're like, I don't know.
Oh man. Top Shot, yeah, had its moment for sure. For sure. I mean,
Whatever happened to the NFL all day thing?
I don't know. I feel like they might be going through some legal issues. I don't know when the NFL thing. I thought it was going to launch. Top
They were
Shot.
advertising it.
They were advertising it. They were running some promo during NFL for it. Phil Mickelson came out and was like, yeah, we should be making way more money because PGA is just going to make like a Top Shot version of that. I mean, I spent a lot of time in NFT, digital collectible land. I think that there is a huge market, and I do think that there's super legitimacy for collecting digital goods. I do believe that. And when I see that Top Shot's super down bad, then I'm like, all right, well, Luka's down bad too. But the key, I think, point was that at the time, even, you couldn't take your money out of Top Shot. So, like, even like your 400 to 600, the only thing you can do with the 600 is just buy more Top Shot.
Sound familiar, Jay?
Sounds familiar to Vivi, which is Jay, I guess, sold all of his stuff the other night.
I did. I was sick of that same thing, and I'm trying to take lessons from what I'm seeing in Top Shot. I saw, there was a lawsuit or something pending or something, and because of exactly what you're explaining, Tyler, where they propped up an artificial market but based on not being able to cash out, and that scares me. So I sold most of my VV stuff.
To get back to Top Shot real quick, just want to make a quick point and like respect to everyone involved. Remember when it was like, yo, Terrence Ross is buying Top Shots? That's pretty cool. And it was like, who cares about Terrence Ross? Respect to Terrence Ross.
You nailed it. You nailed it, and you nailed it. You nailed
Duh.
it. Ryan, do you own any Top Shot?
This is gonna be good. It's more or less like we counted out the Clippers, and Lou's like, no, they're in, and it's like,
Oh, you did say. Lou said,
we're like the
no,
Clippers.
Lou's like, we're pretty much looking at the Clippers.
Yeah, we're pretty much looking at sure enough.
Down 2-1. Kawhi is half a leg.
Sure enough. 3 in a row.
Get Silver on the line. Something smells fishy.
But they're finished.
That was in the playoffs. They
Clippers
went
were down
down.
2. Let me
they
give you
went
guys
down
the full
2-1.
story. The Clippers were down 2-1. I, in my brain, thought they were up 2-1. So I was like, oh, so we're good to go. And then you guys crushed me. And I kind of just let it ride. And then they won. So
You pretty much boiled down a team down 2-1 to win the chip or some shit. Right?
locked in to go to the finals, basically, is what I said.
And then they made a run. And how did playoffs play out?
The Bucks
KD
beat
had
the
his foot on the
Suns.
line.
The Bucks
Yeah.
beat the Suns.
And the
Oh,
Clippers.
yeah, that was Suns in 4, remember? Remember Suns in 4? That was good times.
Who the Clippers come back? They were down 2-1 to who?
The Clippers were down
Mavericks.
2-1 to the Mavericks, and
Mavericks.
then they went on and played the Jazz in the next round.
And Luka was going insane that series.
That was when they touched 1,800, remember?
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Lou, we've done this a couple times. Where are we in the panic meter for the Kansas City Chiefs?
I'm not worried about that.
You can't. There's no such thing as the panic
Division
meter.
winner
They
or
can
playoff maker?
They could go 0-16. They might sneak. They might backdoor it in playoffs.
They could be this. They could be the last seed, and I'd still be like, till you beat them.
Okay, and then it started to get a little bit murky. They had a bad game against the Giants, and then we have this.
Can we talk about the fact that the Chiefs are 4-4, one game out?
Yeah, but they look real. Like Mahomes looked bad.
They barely beat the Giants.
Like he looks bad, Ty. Like it's bad. Anyway, panic meter. If we're going if this is the middle, I'm like right over here.
Ooh, wow. So
There's still plenty of time.
And then they look great on national TV, and we have this.
probably predict Lou's going to update the meter and have it the other way this
The
time.
Chiefs are back.
Back. They're in first place.
Back. Fully back. Home field advantage in the playoffs. Back.
I might have alluded to it the last couple episodes, but I'll leave it there.
Yeah, and what I found funny is that Lou is the one who was getting all the props for not being worried, but it just seems to me like Tyler the entire time was the one who was the least worried, even though Lou is starting to waver a little bit from his not worried stance. Tyler
By the way,
was just like, we're 4-4.
I think they're not that good now. I'm kind of in the position that they're not that great.
I saw something that was kind of that pretty much said Herbert and Burrow. Like Burrow is now the GOAT because he beat Mahomes once.
That's a little silly, but
After they beat him, it was like now they're legit.
That was definitely a big win for the Bengals, but I don't know, man. They just don't seem like their defense doesn't seem like they got enough. But it was a great take by me. They're the number 2 seed in the AFC. Just saying.
Do we think the Packers? Do we think the Packers are legit?
The Packers are probably the best team in the league.
Yeah, agreed. Packers are good.
Quarterbacks on another level.
They haven't been to the chip in 10 years.
Wow. That's true.
Yeah, 2011. They've lost in
Yeah.
I think they've lost in the NFC title.
To me,
4
it feels
times,
like the two best teams are the Chiefs and the Packers, but I think the Packers are a lot better than the Chiefs.
I'm gonna be frank, this whole extra week of the NFL has thrown me for such a loop.
Kind of stinks.
Kind of feels like, what
Yeah,
are we doing
agreed.
here? I
I'm
thought the
alive.
regular season ended like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
they haven't
what
been in
we
the
got,
Super
Jay?
Bowl since 2011. That's crazy.
11, yeah. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers was like dead to rights, the worst guy, and no longer a Packer in like
Yep.
week 2 of the preseason.
Yep. Next one, Jay. Can I do my favorite pickup?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I've been waiting for you to jump in here.
We knew what this was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hyped. I'm super hyped on it. So those cards,
What do we have there? Like the clip
those
was
are
a little janky.
those are 1990 Marvel cards. Wish I had more 10s, to be honest with you, because I think the 10s are like a super premium. But we were too early on that. That's shout out to James for sure. He's the one who put me onto that. I think we were too early. I think if I bought those this year, I'd be a lot more excited about them.
I still have
I would
those
agree.
boxes.
What'd you say, Ryan?
I still have those boxes.
Remember how much those shot up? That was crazy.
A ton.
I mean, as someone who just watched Avengers for the first time this past week, yeah, those are a play. I mean, the clip that I don't think is in here was us gassing up PMGs like heavily. And
I was having a hard time finding that clip.
the PMG Marvels are insanity.
Yeah, I remember talking about them, and I was like, "Oh yeah, they're like 300 raw. That seems too high." So stupid.
They fucked that one up.
So stupid.
All right, well, you may have been a little bit too early on the Marvel trend, but you were not too early on this one, Lou.
All right, we need to mix in some.
Yeah, listen, I don't want
to say I'm at the forefront of the F1 collecting community, but I would probably call myself an influencer.
Got it. Who's your favorite driver?
Lewis Hamilton. He's really good.
Oh, got it.
And then there's a guy named Max Verstappen. Don't test me because low key I do know the people who are in it.
Right. What team?
So
What
what
team
you're
do you
telling us
support?
is you know more F1 than you do about soccer.
By a country mile. It's not even close. I just want to make a point. Someone to my right on the screen was a little bit anti F1 in that clip. He was kind of making some jokes about knowing who the drivers were. Like, oh, you're collecting F1. Ha ha ha. Just saying.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're super not wrong. I was blinded by the light. You know, it was just.
Man, F1.
I'm all in now. Like, yeah, I'm
It's the
pretty all
best.
in.
That's how I am with soccer now, so we're switching, which is great.
It's going to be a big year for both of them.
I agree.
And you know what's sneaky? I've been marinating on this one. I just don't know how it plays out. I think NASCAR is going to come back.
I do too.
Reason being, Rye. Do you know in the last 2 years NASCAR went private? It's no longer a publicly traded company.
Be careful,
And-
Ride. You should think about how you're going to respond right now because this is going to be a clip.
And it's all
No.
what
No.
we're seeing, bro. Like they're going to change. The finale of F1 happened because of Netflix. That last race, all that happened because of Netflix. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's what's going to happen with NASCAR too.
There's
Bro,
definitely-
sport and media, sport and entertainment is my point. It's all the money is getting too big. And F1 became the perfect scene for this, like entertainment based sporting stuff. You see it in like Premier League a lot. In the first 5 seconds of the Liverpool Chelsea match, dude elbowed a guy in the face and definitely should have got a red card, and they didn't give him a red card because it would make the game way worse. NBA, we've long known like the refs literally just do whatever the fuck
Yeah,
they want to do. to
NBA,
make the game
NFL, it's the
great.
same thing. You're right.
So just be on the lookout about NASCAR doing some sneaky things. They're
Okay,
getting their
well,
lunch ate by F1, man. They're not having that. I know that.
We're done with the Lou propaganda for now. Lou had a bunch of good takes. We're going to switch over to Ryan. Ryan had some really good ones, starting off with
That's a good job.
actually
Let's go, Rye.
he disagreed with the resident footy expert on who was going to make the Euro Cup finals.
I just don't think people care about basketball anymore.
Oh,
About football or baskall?
my bad, guys. Let's
All right, let's run this one.
Yeah, run this one. What's this one about?
Basketball.
Like right now, or like you think it's out?
I don't think it's out. I just think it's just like
Basketball's just going away.
it's over. Basketball, it's over.
Basketball's
LaMelo,
gonna
it's
get
You just were like, I don't think people care about it. Just taking
Yeah,
it.
no, I know.
Double
I,
click.
I just think it's just like too much, and everyone just needs a break. I'm starting to think the playoffs aren't going to do anything.
Interesting.
Not wrong.
Too much basketball, guys. Everyone really. I almost wonder if basketball is like too far gone, and it's like the most built-out example of what you're talking about, Tyler, with like the commercialization of sports and it not being so much about the sport anymore. It's about like the athletes and like the personalities,
Mhm.
and I almost think that should be like a warning to other
Yeah.
leagues. Basketball is so oversaturated; it's out of control.
You know what's even more oversaturated than that? Baseball.
I disagree.
Yeah, I mean they almost have
Wait,
the
wait, wait,
opposite
wait, Lou.
problems.
Sorry, Ty. You mean from like a media perspective or just like number of games? Like how often?
I mean, from a
they're
media,
on?
no, not number of games. I'm talking from
Yeah,
a
because
media.
the media. I mean, the baseball's got that stupid media deal, so they're not even nearly.
I'm
as
talking about
relevant.
the media. I'm talking about the media aspect where it's like it's all over every TV show. It's all everything everyone talks about every minute of every day.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, basketball, the NBA has almost become like you don't know who plays for who anymore.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You know, you just get a couple stars, and what they do off the court is equally as like
Basketball,
interesting.
like to me, like the biggest problem with so many of these sports, it's what I just said about baseball is like it's on all the time. It's like that's what like to me, it's a supply and demand thing, just like cards.
Mhm.
Football's on once a week, right? Okay, or on what? There's one game, one day, every day of the week, right? There's a Thursday night game, there's a Saturday night game on Christmas, there's Sunday, there's Monday, but like there's 1 or 2 games, right? Sunday's a big day. Basketball's on. The Hornets play 3 times this week. Like, if you want to see LaMelo play, okay, if you don't get him Tuesday, okay, you just watch him Thursday. If you don't get him Thursday, you watch him Saturday. If you don't get him Saturday, you watch him Monday. If you don't get him Monday, like, it's on all the time. It's oversaturated. There's too much of it. Like, the seasons are too long. Like, nobody's trying until the playoffs. Like, nobody's trying. You just got to get in. And now it's like, hey, everybody gets in. Like, there's 15 different play-in games. And then once you get in, like, you play in a play-in game, and a play-in game plays a play-in game. Like, it's not even it's 8 months of nobody trying. There's no defense. You can't foul anybody. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, look, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I really believe that basketball jumped over a level where it almost can't go back unless there's like a huge pullback of like control, and I just don't see that happening. Like there's too much players running, like they're moving around too much. No one cares about their team. It's all about like I hate being like old man yells at cloud, but like it just like no one gives a shit about basketball anymore, and I don't know how to fix that.
Well, there's so many stories, right? Like not long ago, like the lore of like Magic Johnson and the Lakers, and like there's a million different things pulling at everyone's attention, and attention's changing so fast. And like to your point, there's basketball every night. One of the things,
like people become obsessed with like nobody players, and it's so strange to me.
My man Josh Giddey, I'm obsessed with him.
All right,
but he's a rookie, so it's anyway.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see how.
Last point about this before we move on, I promise. It is going to be very interesting to see how this season finishes when we're 3 days away from the first pro product of the year coming out, and we're halfway through the season.
What are you talking about? What you just spoke in generalities?
Hoops basketball comes out Friday, and we're in
this coming Friday.
Yeah, it comes out Friday. It's the first product with licensed jerseys out, and we're in January. What season started in October?
I think it's going to be cheap.
Top some.
I think it'll be interesting to see how that affects the card market.
I do too.
With product coming out so late in the season.
I hope it's a wake-up call for everybody.
I need my Josh Giddey.
Jay?
All right, now we'll get into Ryan's W's.
The Euro. I'm going to pick England to win it all. England to win it all. There's a lot of talent on that roster. I'm going to go with England to win it all, but I'm going to pick them to beat Italy. So Denmark's not even going to make it.
Yeah, they're out.
They're just not a team of destiny. Best story in 15 years until it's not.
Until it's not.
I like
He had it. England should have won that game too. Freaking Italy.
Yeah.
That was a good pick by you. Look, on record, this is the year of footy. This is the year of footy. I really believe it. We've got a World Cup coming at the end of the year. You got Champions League. You got Premier League. You got the African Nations Cup is about to go down. I strongly believe in footy going into this year.
I bought soccer wax. I am trying to buy soccer singles. Like, I am interested as well. I think we're finally arriving at the time that we've been talking about for the last 3 years.
Agreed with you. Agreed with you.
All right, Jay, what do we got? I'm not dying for a Jordan PSA 10. No different than I'm not dying for a LeBron Topps Chrome 10. The base rookie card isn't what I want to collect. I'd rather have a Jordan autograph or a LeBron, game used patch card at a 5. That excites me more than just a rookie card.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been infatuated with base cards. They're cool. When you get into cards, the base market is a way for people to get their feet wet, right? It's you buy blaster boxes at Target of Prism, and you pull a LaMelo Silver, and you trade that for an autograph, and you work your way up, right? And the base market is an entry point into cards for so many people. It's priced lower, the production is high, or the volume is higher. I believe in the base market as an entry point into cards. It's training wheels for cards. That's what I believe. But I don't believe that is a long-term sustainable investment class in cards. It's never going to be that way. The population is too high on those. As demand has skyrocketed in the last couple of years, so has production to meet that demand. The rare cards, the unique stuff that you can't find every day, you can't find in blasters at Walmart, that plays out long term. That those are the cards that will be more desirable. The base cards will always be there. Those kind of cards, the game use patches, autos, the rare cards, that kind of stuff will play out long term. So.
Just for some context on that clip, that was from a show, I believe, back in like February or March, where the Jordan, it was like right after the Jordan like went crazy on, those two sold for like whatever, 700 and change, and you just didn't understand, why the base cards were getting that much love. You just were saying you weren't into it for that price. You'd much rather have, an auto or something along those lines. So that was a good call because those have taken a significant dip since that point.
Yeah, I also would say that that's probably been like my biggest adjustment year over, like this year to last year, is like I'm where Ryan is now, and he was right the whole time, and I should have seen it. Like, there's too much of that stuff floating around for it to be as expensive as it gets.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan, the way you navigated, I think F1 too was the same way. Is what I've seen from you, and it's just supply and demand, right?
Yep.
Supply and demand. And I think something that's so important is we've talked about it a lot. Now in NFTs is like also just like find what you like. You gotta define what you like. And don't like it because you see other people are having it. It will lead to the best outcomes.
Yep, for sure. All right, Jay, what do we got?
Okay, well, you didn't make this prediction in season 2. You made it in season 1, but it came true in season 2, and you wanted some love on it.
What about the Jokic MVP pick? We're just gonna glaze right over that, or
I mean, if you call like posting about it 7 times in the past week, every other text
What are you
message
Ty?
being about how like
Ty, Lou and I, no matter if we posted every day for each of us for the next month, we'd still be behind on the Tyler propaganda.
That's true, but for you to be like, "Oh, no one's giving me any credit for Jokic,"
I'm just saying,
137 main. Like,
what about it? I mean, like out of left field.
Jokic
was a
was
good
talking
pick. It
about
was
it
a
on
good pick.
SportsCenter the other day. That's
was
how
a
much
good
It
everyone
was like
talks about it.
3,000 to 1 odds or something crazy.
Yeah, well, it was a really good pick.
You did call it. It's something I'll never forget in my life.
I like that Ryan's job is to bring up things to talk about on the show, and then he's like, "No one's bringing this up." It's like literally that's like what you're supposed to do in that moment.
By the way, he's having a better year.
He is, yeah, he's really
He's good.
They won't give it to him again this year.
It's just
though.
his brothers are it's the family too. Like they're just awesome.
He's a
Alright,
different cat.
Next one, Jay.
I mean, is there Michael Porter Jr. slander in this, or should we get it over?
Oh,
now?
it's coming, I'm sure.
All right.
He sent us clips. That was the one thing he sent us a preview of.
Oh, what's up, man?
You know damn well that's coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough out here for Michael Porter Jr.
I literally remember, Jay, I cannot wait till the people that are listening and watching get to see this because it's the clip that Jason found of Lou and I harassing Tyler about MPJ is probably one of my favorite all-time clips.
It's tough. It was tough. It hurts still.
We are
I
now going to
remember
get
that
into
in
some.
Dallas.
We're going to get into some Tyler propaganda at this point. It's hit that time in the show.
Yeah,
Tyler,
boy.
anybody who watches the show knows that Tyler is been long soccer since season 1, but he started talking about it again in the beginning of season 2, and then we'll run that clip first.
When you mentioned August 2019, I just remember it is the single thing that got me hooked on cards was just soccer cards. There was so little of it. I mean, there was maybe 5 or 6 people at National that like were there talking soccer.
I'll be intrigued then, Ty, to see what it's like this time. I went last time, and I don't like. I remember a couple guys in the back that had a good amount of it. That's mostly what they did, some soccer, some Pokemon. But I just don't remember seeing a lot of like soccer cards.
Right. So then we went to the show in March, and soccer was everywhere, and that was this clip.
I believe
Ryan, as a unbiased individual, do you feel that there was a lot of people coming up asking you about the footy game?
There was a lot more soccer chatter than I had anticipated, for sure. I think soccer, again, as someone that picks it up and is intrigued by it, right, doesn't follow it like, you do, follows it probably a little bit more than my guy Lou does.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was a lot more. That would have probably been kind of that, like, KD, baseball, and then soccer.
I love Dallas. Every time I see a clip of us from Dallas, I get warm,
Love it.
fuzzy feelings
Dallas
in my
is
heart.
the best. I cannot wait to go back. I love that show. Yes. Pro Dallas.
Yeah, base footy is dealing with the same thing as everything else. By the way, like your Sapphire product, a lot of that is also in a down spot. But Kaboom stuff. I was just with my buddy the other night who has the Holland. I think he has a gold auto.
Flo has the orange.
Flo, he has the orange.
Mm-hmm.
I was with him the other night. Speaking of Jameel, the Pokemon thing, we'll get into all that. But yeah, I think that there's still a lot of prospecting and footy to be done. I'm excited to see the products with Topps Chrome Champions League from Fanatics. I was pumped about that for Topps and Fanatics. So yeah, I'm all in this year on footy cards, and clearly this COVID cold that I have right now.
Another big W for Tyler this year was his breakdown of what was coming in the NHL market.
I think there's massive upside in the NHL, and I think we've talked about it on this show before, right when that deal was announced. The people that did that deal need to make sure it's worth their while. And so they're going to pull a lot of tricks up their sleeve. You see it all the time. When IP gets purchased or collaborations start to happen, if you really dig in, there's always a reason why. And I think you're going to start seeing a massive uptick in distribution of content and media around the sport comparatively to the last 2 years, because the rights holders knew that it was sunsetting. So why would they continue to build the asset when the second the contract's over, it's irrelevant to them anyway?
That's how I will say. I mean, I haven't followed the market as much. It's still, McDavid or bust. But I've seen commercials for like hockey games and stuff like that. But I don't feel like I've seen a lot of like content creation on social in terms of like, hey, this guy had this awesome play or this guy did this, other than McDavid, right? Like McDavid has a moment, it goes viral because McDavid is like crazy, right? So like when he has a moment, Barstool tweets it, a lot of people tweet about it.
Uh-huh.
Maybe just because he's so much better than everybody else, but I don't feel like I've seen a lot of like, hey, look at Crosby did. Hey, look at Ovechkin did. I just don't see as like, I expected there to be a little bit more this year. Again, I know it's a little different than the card market, but
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I how much do you watch ESPN?
not a ton. Rarely.
I think that's by and large what it comes down to. I don't watch too much of it either. I don't watch too much of it either. No, I don't think you're wrong.
I just don't think ESPN's going to be spending millions of dollars, and my first thought is, hey, they're going to put all their money into TV. Like TV's dying. Like it's not doing well to begin with. Like social is where everybody's at. I'm surprised I'm not seeing ads on Facebook or in my TikTok stream or anything on Twitter about Ovechkin and the goal record with Gretzky that he could break. Like, I don't know. I'm just the market's hot.
Right.
I don't mean to, bash your take. I'm not trying to do that. Like, I believe cards are a play, but I'm just surprised by the lack of social content I've seen.
I think you're correct.
All right, well, you
as well.
The Rangers are legit, though. Just saying.
But the Rangers are legit. I watched McDavid last night.
And as you bring up McDavid, Tyler, since he was high on the hockey market, he made a play.
I did make a play.
This hat is
at Dallas, and
It's a Bobby Bowden hat.
I'm really fired up about that McDavid pickup.
What is it? It's an ultimate.
It's ultimate. Yep. Yeah, and I'm just excited about it. On card auto. I thought I got a great deal for it.
Did get a good deal.
You did get a good deal.
I should have went way harder.
Isn't that
Right.
like our number one rule? Anytime anybody ever asks what kind of advice you have, is, hey, when you believe in something, double, triple down on it.
It's so hard to do, though. It's so hard.
Now this is
Yeah.
what I'm looking forward to. Let's get into this. Bad take.
Bad takes.
The Ryan Johnson show. I couldn't be happier with how the draft turned out. I got my quarterback. I got a new
He
left
said the
guard.
Ryan
I got a new wide receiver. But the most important thing is that Ryan Johnson is now attached to the hip with Jared Stidham and Mac Jones. Wait, this is a bad. That is the future of Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, it's like, why couldn't the Niners mess all this up from the start and just take Mac Jones?
That guy. Can I get an update on where you are?
I don't believe Mac Jones is like that good. I don't think he's like
Strong take, right?
I don't think he's like super uber talented. Like
He's
the
definitely not.
The Patriots are good. They have Bill Belichick, but like Mac Jones isn't like Patrick Mahomes.
That's for certain.
Like he's not like like I like the Patriots. Like I want him to win. Like I would love to see him win the Super Bowl. But like you're like, hey, Mac Jones. I just don't think Mac Jones is like. I'm telling you, I would rather have Trevor Lawrence. Wouldn't even be close.
By the way, he kind of stinks too. So.
He stinks, and I would rather have Trevor Lawrence.
He went through a
Guess
pretty
who the
like.
best rookie quarterback is?
What?
Guess who the best rookie quarterback is?
Justin Fields?
No, sir. No, sir.
Who are you saying it is?
I'm just thinking about going
Listen,
forward. Who would you rather
I
have?
know everyone thought that the NFL season ended 5 weeks ago,
No, sir.
Zach Wilson is not the
but
answer. you're looking
someone's
for.
been playing some good football.
Someone's been looking pretty good recently.
When I prepared this next clip and I put it into the bad takes, that was a couple weeks ago. But I'm gonna run it as is. I almost thought about shifting it up to the good takes, but let's see.
Somebody.
Oh,
went
we're
toe to
making
toe
that
with
bet,
two
right? That's what we're
cultures.
doing.
Oh,
You guys have a
I'm
bet lineup?
definitely willing to.
Okay, so
off
the,
of
so the bet
my-
is that Zach Wilson will not finish in the top 3 offensive rookie of the year voting. So you are saying that Zach Wilson will not finish in the top 3, which is essentially what you're saying is that Trevor, Trey Lance, and Justin Fields will finish ahead of him, right? Or some wide receiver.
Or Najee Harris.
which is accurate.
Yeah, and also the bet got voided when Zach got hurt, so that's unfortunate. But
Yeah.
I mean, the bet got voided due to injury. That was like agreed upon. That
Oh,
was
Zach,
previously agreed upon.
Zach Wilson, man. He stinks.
You're confused. You haven't
He
been watching.
doesn't stink.
You haven't been watching.
Let's go.
We have a trifecta of terrible takes here that Ryan's been waiting for.
Oh God, yes. I know what the first one is.
Can we revel in the fact that Tyler Hero went from hobby darling to couldn't be more irrelevant? Please.
That's true. He's had a run.
That
here.
is all I'm bringing up. There was no Michael Porter Jr.
You were trying to get
No.
some chatter in there.
No.
Okay.
But Ty,
What I was
Ty,
trying to say
at
is
least he's playing. Michael Porter Jr. might miss next year.
for what?
Guys,
Back
guys,
injury or knee or
this guy's a
whatever.
fucking
I mean,
disaster.
It's like
This
guy
is
gets
the
injured
worst
one
argument.
time. Guy gets injured one time in his career. 3 years later, people are saying he might not play.
I mean, what are the
I don't
chances?
get the Michael Porter Jr. thing. It's now just a meme, and Tyler doesn't even pay attention to Michael Porter Jr. He just brings them up, right?
Okay, that's not true. I'm stacking MPJs, baby.
But Michael Porter Jr. signed a max deal, 5 years, $207 million. And I asked Tyler if he thought he deserved that money. And
And I went off.
I think it's a perfect person to give a max deal to, and I think he's going to surprise everyone that is still down on him because most people have turned the corner from calling him a bum bum. If you saw his playoff performances last season, obviously the bubble mattered for him, but it's going to play out. I'm either going to be the dopiest dope that ever was a dope, or I'm going to look great.
Tyler,
that first clip,
What
clip,
happened?
that first clip is my favorite.
yeah, he got one injury on his back 3 years ago, and people were thinking he's not going to play this year.
He's like, why is he gonna
Record
miss? He's like,
scratch.
I don't know, a back injury.
How did they?
What do you mean
Wow.
how? Like it was the most obvious. Like I hope that he gets better. It seemed like I hope it's okay. It was the most obvious re-injury situation of all
Do
time.
you think the GM watched Car Talk and was just a fan of me as opposed to a fan of y'all? How does he get signed to a max deal and then literally doesn't have nerve in his back 2 weeks later?
Not only that, you said he was the perfect person to get a max deal, which made no sense at the time.
I was so Michael Porter Jr. I mean,
Oh,
I
man,
hitched
it
my
was-
wagon to that horse.
Yeah, that's all right.
Wow.
Okay, so last night Lou sent a message to the entire Card Talk text group asking what maniac would be buying Sam Darnold cards right now. But back in Dallas,
I've had a Darnold Kaboom since July. I've gotten 4 offers on it this weekend, and I refuse to move it.
Sold it. Sold it.
When'd you sell it?
Right before the season started, actually.
I've had a Darnold Kaboom.
By the way, if you don't forget, they were 4-0, I'm pretty sure, or 3-0.
Yeah,
He
comeback
just-
player of the year.
He had just won a big Sunday night. Was it Sunday night or Monday night game? And they will walk about and he does the interview post game on the stage. And he was like everything.
He was back.
He was leading the league in rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean they beat the Jets. They started off so hot, man. Ugh.
Yeah. Will he be on a roster next year? Where's he
Yeah.
at? He's signed
Okay.
in
Yeah, I
Carolina
mean,
still?
Chad Henne
No, he's
and
not signed up.
Blake Bortles, Blake Bortles. I mean, some of these guys have made careers out of being a backup.
To be honest, he sounds like a Browns backup candidate.
Interesting. The old Baker backup.
Yeah, QB competition.
I'm sure that's coming. God. Jay, what do we got next?
I want to point out that Tom Brady was a $1,700 card this time last year, the Bowman Chrome, and that card is now a $12,500 card. So the Legends thing, Tyler, I'm with you by the way because I was looking at. I actually did. I took the step that you didn't take to look, and I was like, nah.
Those are like 20 grand, I think.
I'm pulling it up right now.
I think those are like 18 to 20.
Brady Bowman Chrome, right?
Yeah, 10.
Yeah, that was a big mistake, huh? Value $19K.
Yikes.
We completely.
It's unbelievable the way we're like, yeah, just do what you believe, and then we have the things we believe, and then we don't do them. It's unbelievable.
What do we got here, Jay?
That's
Tyler
bad. He
Tyler
pitched yesterday and then played the outfield last night. Did you know that? That's
Coolest
cool.
thing ever.
So
Lou,
cool.
I'm not
Stand by
like, is
this.
it flashing the panty cool or like
It's flashing the panty cool. 3 months in.
Whoa, he's not flashing the penny. I
Okay.
did actually, Jay.
I can't believe we're doing this. Like, this is so stupid. He's been good for 3 months.
Lou? It's definitely.
I don't know
thinking-
if you guys checked out the second half stats, but like he wasn't that great.
I mean, he was the AP athlete of the year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
That's
I was.
great. That's
And
not
MVP.
a function of anything. Ty, they give a lot of awards out like that to a lot of people who don't necessarily deserve them.
I mean, it's
Okay?
only one person that can win AP male athlete of the year every year.
Okay.
Like,
We're gonna just skip
One
right over that
person.
he pretty much had one of the most.
He had a
insane
phenomenal. He had a
years as
phenomenal year.
professional athlete.
He had an awesome year as a professional athlete. I'll stand very firm on the flash in the panty take.
You think Otani is flash in the panty?
Yep.
Still to this day.
To this day, January 3rd, 2022, 4th.
Do you think that he pitches and hits for the
Yes.
next couple of years still?
Yes.
Where are you
All
at
right, Jay,
on
what do
that,
we
Ryan?
got?
Real quick,
What?
Ryan, where do you stand on Otani?
I just don't follow baseball enough to give an educated opinion. It's one of the.
You're not watching Angels at 11:30 p.m. on a Wednesday?
Exactly. I just don't care. Like I'd be
You don't
lying
watch
if I
bad
told.
baseball teams with a couple good players on it?
What'd you say?
You don't watch bad baseball teams that have a couple good players on
No,
it?
I mean, again, Otani's numbers. I mean, like to pitch like that and bat like that. That's, it's obviously I've never seen it, so that seems pretty good to me. I mean, obviously
Rick Ankiel.
it's never been done, but I mean, since Babe Ruth, right? But
Rick Ankiel.
I don't follow enough.
all right, so we've definitely had our share of funny moments in this season's, as we went along. That became like terms that we use every time. So let's run some of those.
Jemmy. The other thing I like about the Tour de France is no one calls it France. It's just the Tour de France.
So true.
It's never been called France by anyone, but for some reason we call it the Tour de France.
That's amazing. I love me some Tour de France.
Oh man, I want to go to.
I'm
I wanna
going.
go to the Tour de France. I know you told me. You told us. I'm
so
so
excited.
I'm jealous.
I think that's how it got brought up.
the Tour de France.
Yeah, Card Talk live from the Tour de France.
Can you imagine the Tour de France live show?
Well, we got to do F1 this year, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm telling you, I will be in Miami for F1
Same.
for sure. 100% will be there.
We will be at Miami.
Love it.
And you know one thing we didn't talk about?
What's
Lefty.
that?
What?
Man,
Wait, we need the video for this. Run that back. Jay, start it over.
Jay started over. The video's shaky.
Lefty.
Which one of you two didn't know? Tyler or Luke?
Me.
And you know one thing we didn't talk about?
What's
Lefty.
that?
What?
Man, Lefty.
What is lefty?
Like Lefty.
Like Phil
Billy
Mickelson.
Mick. Like the legend himself.
I didn't. You guys are saying lefty. Like I should just know that off the top of my head.
No, you definitely should.
Guys, I had a couple things going on this weekend. I wasn't really tuned in to the PGA Championship. My bad.
Yeah, but lefty's like that's not like
No,
me.
it's like an all-time sports.
I don't know if you're. I don't know if you're talking about like Lefko getting married.
I didn't even notice he throws in the Lefko getting married for lefty.
I had a couple things going on this weekend. Oh, that's rich. That was a big moment. That was definitely a big moment.
What a stupid show this is.
I think one guy we didn't mention this discussion.
Hold on, because I know you're going to say it, and I want to
Yeah,
say
relax, Ryan. Let other people talk.
it. Jalen Hurts
No.
is interesting.
No.
That's not what I was going to say.
Ryan, Jalen Hurts was your guy.
No.
Ryan got destroyed in the comments more than I think any other time in any clip that I've ever put up than when he was slandering Jalen Hurts. And
He's not going to be starting in Philly next year. I can promise you that. No way. No way.
Really?
No way. No way. He's not that good. No way. Jalen Hurts stinks.
He's getting them in the. He got into the playoffs.
I'm just telling you. I'm gonna. Lou, you got.
You could have let this one go so easily. And it would have
No.
been fine. I don't know why you're sticking to this.
I'm tripling down on this. Jalen Hurts. I'm not a no. I do not believe.
Doesn't
Philly.
Philly like him?
What?
Like loves it.
Don't they- Isn't he like a
No,
Philly
they
guy?
brought in Minshew like as a backup. I just don't think he's gonna.
God forbid you run your fucking team right and you have a good backup on your team.
Yeah, that's fair. I think they got what 3 first rounders this year. I bet Hurts is not starting for Philly next year.
Okay.
January 4th,
Didn't
2022.
you
I'm
see
willing to
the
die.
clip where like people fell out of the stands and he was like giving them all a Philly brotherly love?
That's
and they were,
great,
like,
man.
all
That's
about it?
fantastic.
I
When
can't
Tom
believe-
Brady beats him in the first round of the playoffs and he goes home, like, just no.
I can't believe you're like giving Jay a free clip for next year too. This is so weird.
Mark the date, January 4th.
Weird take.
I have like a car wash pass, so I love going to the car wash.
You have a car wash pass?
Yeah, it's like $32 a month,
That's the
and I
most
can.
Ryan Johnson thing. I've
It's
ever heard in
unlimited,
my life.
so it's the best thing in the world. I love it.
How many times a month do you go to the car wash?
Not as many as you think.
Like 3?
No, more. 6 times.
6 times.
Absolutely.
Less time, more times than you think. 6 times.
Less than you think.
I have become a car wash guy. I've let Ryan know that. Ryan loves the car wash. It's very funny to be like, yeah, like less times than you think. Only like 6.
Are you still putting in 6?
No,
6
I
months?
haven't been to the car wash in a month.
$32 down the drain.
Yeah, they got me for 32. That's
They crushed you for that 32.
that
They always
32. I'm
win.
never getting that back.
They always win.
All right. Well, Ryan fired up that hilarious moment with he backed it up with another hilarious moment.
Got it.
Those are the same people that like don't let you wear shoes in the
Shoes
house.
in the house.
I'm not a big shoes in the house guy.
See,
So like
Me either.
no,
you
see,
don't wear shoes in the house, dude.
No, that doesn't bother me.
You have shoes on right now.
Absolutely.
Oh my!
Wow.
Absolutely.
You record the show with shoes
Yeah, but
on?
like my shoes are clean. I keep my shoes clean.
I take my shoes off like when we record the podcast together. Like that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even put on shoes for that.
Ryan, do you have shoes on right now?
No, I have slippers on.
All right,
That's
all
fine,
right,
that's
all
better.
right, commendable. Yeah.
Yeah, no. But if it wasn't, I would have something on my feet at all times. Yeah, for sure.
Lou?
I'm currently shoeless and socks.
In the summer, like when it's like I got shorts and a t-shirt on and we're recording live car talk, yeah, I'll have shoes on for sure. Still stand by that. That and Jalen Hurts is not going to be starting next year. Those are my two stances at the moment.
Jalen Hurts not starting next year is a big take.
Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. I love that guy.
All right. Ryan's a podcast professional, and when
Oh man, I know what this
when
is.
Lou and Tyler were talking about their two favorite color parallels.
Oh yeah.
we got
Speaking
this out
of,
Ryan.
color.
Great color.
I respect it.
Thank you.
Lou's-
A little bit less than purple, but I respect it.
They're both great colors. I have nothing bad to say about purple.
So speaking of purple and orange, the Suns.
Oh, this guy's a professional.
I'm
This guy's recorded a couple podcasts.
This
This
in
guy
his
knows
day.
how to record.
That was good. That was
That's a
good.
good job. How do you do that, Ryan? That's like a natural born talent. I actually believe that, by the way.
luck.
You've been
You
around
sure?
the block.
You
Yeah.
you kind of know what you're doing, Ryan. Give yourself a little credit.
Nah, man, just got luck. You guys carry it. Is this the wall? Yes.
These
I've been waiting
faces.
for this.
Are unbelievable.
It is Ryan.
Most people are like, "You painted your wall." I'm like, "Yeah, I painted my wall."
And you went black too. It's a very interesting play.
Yeah, well, it's really like more like a green blue. It just might look like black because the lighting.
We're gonna need to get a poll on that. 'Cause that
Listen,
doesn't
it's the furthest thing from black. Okay.
That's a brown wall. That's a brown wall. That's not a green blue wall, brother.
It looks brown in the clip, but it's blue.
I believe you that it's blue.
I believe you that it's blue. I'm just telling you. We see brown.
It looks kind of brown.
It's a really dark shade of blue.
That hat. I'm now.
I
We're
have
aligned.
a friend that sits outside my window. It's a dove, and I just
There's no
found out
doves
his
in New York
nickname.
City.
It's a dove.
There's no doves in New York City.
It's
bro.
Jordan Dove.
That's a.
All right, Ty, what's up with mine?
That's a pigeon, bro.
Pigeon.
Oh, bro, that's a dove.
Oh man, that's rich. That's good.
By the way, Jordan Love. Yikes. They're gonna need to bring back Rodgers next year.
He won't be a starting quarterback next year.
Jordan Love will not be a starting quarterback. Oh, it's a Jemmy.
Jimmy?
I ended up cracking the case and submitted it in an order with PSA. And somewhat to my surprise, I was able to pull a Jemmy.
Respect. This has got to be like the luckiest play of the week of all time. A GMA 10 1985 Donruss is a PSA 10.
But we
Pulls a
literally,
Jemmy, cracking and smacking, pulling a
Yeah.
Jemmy. Like, is that?
Yeah, listen, when you crack and slap and you get a Jemmy, it's tough to get mad at the person.
Yeah,
Hell of a job to get a Jemmy out of this one.
it's a good job.
Yeah, you can't be mad at the Jemmy. Like, you just can't.
You guys probably said Jimmy 50 times in that.
I don't want to
Jimmy.
overplay it. I don't want to overplay Jemmy, but I love Jemmy.
I was at a card show that morning, bought a $20 Mike White card and flipped it into like $2.75. And you
Yes,
guys
that was the Mike
gave
White
away
day.
my play because that dude said Jemmy.
Hey, look. It
It'd be a
matters.
conflict of interest.
And you also didn't negotiate on a Mike White auto.
Yep.
That
Yeah,
was
I think
the
there's
point.
more to that play. You're like,
Yeah.
hey, if I'm this Mike White, he's gonna start. Here's $20.
Yeah.
We're like,
didn't even
hey,
offer
how about
50.
5?
Mike White.
Yeah, just burying yourself
Mike White, I think, is like
was a moment.
a moment in the NFL this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right. Well,
Just
we were
the-
trying to record a podcast at the National and just
Oh,
got
the
rudely
announcements.
interrupted.
Amazing to meet so many people, and I can't wait to be back. Show doors closed. That's it for you, boy.
Yeah, let's get the schedule for Saturday. Let's get there we go.
8:30.
Uh-huh. I love these guys, but this is ridiculous. This is insane.
This is the third time in our podcast, and this has only been for 14 minutes. They had 3 announcements in the last 14 minutes.
They gave us a 13-minute warning until they were closed.
That was good fun banter. We actually talked, right? Didn't they hit us up?
Yeah,
Lou?
we did. We talked to him. Yeah.
He's a legend. He's been around the block. You
Yeah,
guys
that
been
was
making
funny.
announcements at the National for
I
years.
cannot wait till the National.
Oh, Atlantic City, bring it on.
You know something? That's the last show that all of us have been at together.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are we going to talk about, since Mint Collective is not happening, are we going to potentially go to a certain shop in a certain city in a certain state?
I mean, or also Dallas.
I
I'm
cannot
going to
go
know
to
about Dallas in the next 24 hours. I am sneaky into it. But going to Ohio would really be
I think that'd be fun.
lit.
In.
I think we might be making a trek, right?
All right. Well, Tyler will like this one because he'll give him a chance to talk about his boy.
So this is from Trans Energy.
Oh no!
No.
He says, this is the best one ever. Says, I bought 0 Ryan Tannehill cards. Saved a lot of money by not doing it because he's not a good QB. Get that in one of those JPEG things Tyler calls NFTs. Get him one of those.
Ryan was even a further
Oh
barrier.
my god! The integrity of Play of the Week is now dead, but it was worth it for that. Meanwhile, number 1 seed in the AFC. If they
Is
win
it
on-
locked in or something happened?
They have to win
win
on.
it.
They have to
win.
win on Sunday.
They have to win in the extra week.
I don't have
Without
much to
Derrick
say.
Henry.
I don't have much.
I was on
Ryan
your side.
Tannehill is a better quarterback by far than Jalen Hurts.
I mean,
I mean,
he's
okay.
a quarterback of the number 1 seeded team right now. Doesn't happen often.
Yeah, Tannehill's definitely played. Has had his moments in the last 8 weeks post Derrick Henry. He also had one of the worst games all year.
They're the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Yeah, I mean you have Derrick Henry for the first 13 weeks of the year.
What about the last 7 weeks?
Good defense.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Lou. I admire you.
I'm on your side.
Thank you. Thank you. Maybe people will wake up to it. And actually, I bought a Ryan Tannehill card off a dude on Twitter the other day because now everyone just tags me when people are talking about Ryan Tannehill. I just get
That's
tagged
perfect.
left, right, and center. And someone was slanging a $2 Tannehill, and someone tagged me, and I just bought it from the guy.
That's
$5.
awesome. Pause for 1 second. Ryan, please put some respect on my name as a 2-0 Pack World Champion of Card Talk Live.
Like 2-0 with an asterisk.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's
I mean,
unbelievable the disrespect I get on this show.
I mean,
Unbelievable.
you made a rule about a set for the first one.
I didn't make up a rule. Whatever. We're moving on.
Yeah, Lou's rules and pack words are bogus.
Yeah.
Bogus
Anyone was free to. It was of the 5% of things that I knew going into Card Talk Live. One of them was the rules that me and Tyler agreed to, and then he lost and tried to say that I made up rules.
Yeah, how could a rule be bogus if they agreed to it? If it was bogus, they should have not agreed to it right off the bat. If you agreed
It's
to
the one thing I knew going into the show.
This is also the same
Who
guy that
wins?
said that Zach Wilson missed 1 game, so he's automatically
He didn't miss one
disqualified
game.
for
He missed
rookie of the
4
year.
games. He missed a quarter of the season.
Well, quarter of the season last year. Now it's less.
Like a fifth.
Also, I think that Jonathan Taylor 1 of 1 is a pretty big card.
Probably.
Probably.
That was pulled during that show. All right, let's go.
This is the final clip, and this was in bad takes, and I moved it to funny takes. I was almost going to move it to good takes because of how Tom Brady has looked the last couple of weeks against the Saints getting shut out and against our Jets. Not really looking so hot until the very end.
Look great either.
Are you ridiculous? He leads
You don't
the
even
NFL
care about
in,
Tom Brady, Ryan. Shut up.
He has
You don't
35
even care about
touchdowns.
him.
He's
You
more
didn't-
than
He's
like
a
18
Michigan
You
man.
literally said 5 minutes ago he
He's a
wasn't in your top
Michigan
5.
man.
You just said we're seeing he's the MVP front runner at this
You
point.
just-
He looks
you
objectively
That's the
worse.
silliest
You
shit
just
I've ever heard in my
protected
life.
him like he's your
He looks
girlfriend's
objectively
brother or
worse a
something.
year ago.
I
Right?
mean, he's a top 4 NFL MVP candidate. I mean, they are.
A top 4 NFL. That's the first time that's ever been cited in the history of the world.
He's good. I don't know. I mean,
He's definitely good. He's definitely a lot worse than he was a year ago today.
I mean, he
doesn't have half of his offensive roster. I mean, he's got dudes
You're
quitting.
right. He only has
games.
Mike Evans and Gronk, and he had Antonio Brown until Sunday. Like,
I mean, half of Sunday. Doesn't
okay.
doesn't have Godwin, doesn't have Fournette, doesn't have Ronald Jones. The starting 3 corners are hurt. I mean,
Oh, the starting 3 corner, that's a big part of Tom Brady's success.
I'm just saying.
I think he's the same quarterback.
I don't.
I'm not picking him to win the Super Bowl this year, though.
I think I did pick him,
You better not.
but I don't know where I stand currently.
I mean, I also picked the Browns.
Don't let Tannehill get hot.
Is that all we got, Jay?
That's all we got.
All right. It's
I
been
love
a
it.
journey.
Well, that's season 2.
Man, what an episode.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Sometimes I wonder how we get all this stuff organically, like how this stuff is like happens. Like it's amazing looking back on the year and be like, man, we had some moments and it just happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
There
felt
was
like
a
there were
lot
a
of
lot more. There were a lot more good takes this season than there were bad takes. I mean, I was searching long and hard to find some really good bad takes, and we found some funny ones. But there were, as you look back, I mean, you guys pretty much predicted a lot of the trends in the market way in advance of them happening. Especially that first clip in January, where you were talking about how it's not just baseball, basketball, and football anymore. I think that really played out and looked good at the end.
All right.
Well, that's a bow on season 2. I'm excited for season 3, boys. We got Fanatics craziness happening. We got Hoops products coming out shortly. We got World Cup this year. We got probably the most demand for F1 going into this season. We've got NFL playoffs are about to begin. We've got card shows. COVID's throwing some crazy shit, but we'll be on the road. We're going to get to Rise Shop, do some content from out there. We've got the Play of the Week POAP thing. Hopefully we can all start having a unified front in terms of merchandise and apparel and being able to not just get things for Jay. But I'm excited. And I want to thank you 3 and Judy, who's off the screen, for everything in season 2. And we'll be back a week from today, kicking off season 3.
Yeah, I mean, what a year, considering, Tal, like you said, it's been almost 2 years since we had our first, like, hey, let's do a podcast type thing. And, we did 6 or 8 weeks of trial and error where we just, hey, let's see how we can do this. Right. And I mean, that's what's crazy is we never ended up posting any of the like, hey, let's get you, me, and Lou on a podcast and see how we talk. And I mean, just all the nuances of that. It's cool to see how far we've come. So appreciate everybody for listening for another year. It's season 2 was great, but season 3 is going to be even better for sure.
Agreed. Stay safe, stay healthy, everyone. Hope you have a great week. The comments and the YouTube give us love. Keep us going is what I really meant. You don't give us love. You can hate on us if you want. But we'll see you there.
See you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.